So I am back. Yes. Lotus Eyes Gypsy. You can call me Lotus or Gypsy or whatever you choose to call me. I am sure a lot of you guys probably think that I'm losing my mind because I keep posting, but it's fun to know there's a platform that I can just vent to the world or talk to the world, and people can have their opinions and I can respond to them and not really care or have it affect me in a certain way, because I actually do want to hear people's opinions. I do want to hear people's rants and raves. I do want to know if other people are going through the same things that I'm going through. So I'm just checking in, and I submitted a couple emails and I'm doing some work, but once again I'm having these issues where every time I try to finalize something, my network is not responding. So, and our AC is still down in the building and the elevators are still down, so it doesn't matter because I'm not going to go outside. It is way too hot, and I know 70s is not hot, but the sun is out, and I pretty much like to think of myself as a vampire that likes dark. I don't like heat. With that being said, what are you guys doing? I do have a topic I want to talk about, and that is toxic relationships. Toxic relationships, yeah. And I don't only mean toxic relationships as in a, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend. I'm talking about any type of toxic relationships. Now, I know that we do learn from our lessons, and sometimes it does take a while for us to, find ourselves sometimes when we're stuck in a toxic relationship. And I firmly believe that when you know something is wrong, but you cannot understand, like, why the hell am I putting up with this? Why am I allowing this person with all the red flags to step on me, have every single pet peeve that you would never accept, but you are accepting it and you're dealing with it, and you just keep giving those chances to that individual or persons or more than one person? I believe that it's a karmic cycle. I truly believe that it's meant to be, and that you will wake up one day if you're still going through that. Personally, I've been through that. I have been through a really, really toxic relationship, and since day one, I was like, okay, I already see the red flags. Am I stupid for even moving forward with this? Was I stupid when I think back on it now? No, because it made me experience something that I've never experienced in my life, and that was dealing with a toxic, narcissistic ass. I don't want to use the wrong language on here. So it took me a while, and I think the worst when you're dealing with a toxic, narcissistic a-hole is when you're dealing with their ex-toxic, narcissistic, beyond jealous, who's never met you in their life but got every word in the book to judge you because of your pics. So, end of the day, when you're dealing with a toxic, narcissistic a-hole and then having to deal with their ex, who shouldn't even be in the picture, but we know in today's world and generation, women that haven't found themselves or are jealous. Let's just put it this way, because if you can hate on someone for no reason, you've never met them, the only thing you know is a synopsis of their bio on Facebook that, oh, they are educated. Are they really educated because they went to college? But regardless of the fact, they have several degrees and they have a job and they're in stilettos and they're dressing up and they are quote unquote skinny and they look good and they have a social life. They've got friends that love them. all because you decide you want to stalk someone's page because it's public, because this is who your person is dealing with now. And when I say your person, is when you have an ex that doesn't let go, they're still your person because you're still having to deal with this individual in some way, shape, or form. So when you deal with a toxic, narcissistic a-hole, more than likely, they're coming with baggage of another toxic individual that they dealt with. Or, like I say, and like they say, misery loves company. Well, it took me about a good year and a half of acknowledging and knowing every week that, what am I doing? What am I doing in this relationship? What am I doing with this person in my life that I was literally supporting and taking care of in every single way? I mean, it's just the heart that I have, that if I see someone in need, that I try to fix. I mean, it's almost like a Virgo's nature to fix things and fix a person. And I've learned that, you know what? It's time for me to stop doing that. And it just got to the point where it really took a toll. It also took a toll on my health. My Crohn's was literally about to come out of remission in the worst possible way. I was hospitalized from extreme weight loss, and it was just stress. Combine that with work and having to deal with two toxic narcissistic a-holes, and they both belong together. And I even called it from day one. It was like I constantly said, like, you need to go back to your toxic BS, because that BS does not leave me alone. I mean, this person had went so far along to create numerous, I probably have 80 plus FB accounts that are blocked because they decided to create accounts to stalk my page and stalk the individual's page that I was, the other toxic individual that I was dealing with. So it was just a nightmare. And I know this is like so confusing, but I firmly believe that when you deal with individuals, and whether they're good or bad, whether they're the worst persons in the world, they come into your life to seriously teach you a lesson. And sometimes there are karmic cycles that we needed to have passed in our life and go through. And when it's done, it's done. Like when I cut it off, I never looked back. Like I cut it off so cold turkey that when I said, get the hell out of my life, I never looked back. I never answered a message again, and this person did try to contact me on every single platform of communication, and I didn't respond. I don't need to respond. I did, realize what I was put through, and realize that, wait a second, you've been acknowledging this since day one. You saw the red flags since day one. Why did you accept it? I couldn't even answer that until I realized that this is a karmic cycle, because if I was so easily drawn in and taken into someone that I have never experienced this in my life, because I'm so picky. I am very, I'm fine being single. I'm fine being alone. I choose to be that way. But this individual, I could not explain. I mean, everything about him was a red flag. And when I finally said enough's enough, I didn't look back. And I won't look back. But it is a topic that I do want to discuss, because we all go through it. We all have those relationships. We all can't understand why we stick in relationships. And right now, I know, many individuals that are in toxic relationships that they can't explain or they can't get out. But eventually they will, if they got the determination, the willpower. I have too much to live for. I have too much responsibilities on my plate. And I thank God that I finally said, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm tired of taking care of you. I'm tired of being the support system. I'm tired of being the one that's doing everything while you sit back and you get to judge me. Like when someone can play the game so well that they have their ex toxic partner still involved and make the excuse that they have a kid with the person, but you can't be around them when they do park outings and when they do outings in general. If you have to beg a man to be in the life of your child because that child belongs to him, If you had to literally beg the guy and bring up history and threaten him with all your past baggage that you had within that individual, if you have to go to those extremes, and at the end of the day, when I decide that I don't want to deal with the person that you still want in your life after you've messaged me 5,000 times that how toxic this and wrong this person is and so forth, but you gladly take him back. I understand. Everybody wants the parents in their lives for their kids. But if someone is very toxic and they have addictions and so forth, you don't want that around your kid. You don't want that around your baby, especially when it comes to the well-being and the upbringing of the child. You don't want that around your child. But if you go to the extent of literally bashing someone else's medical condition and putting their business out on social media that you are clueless about, you've never spoken to me ever. The only time you've ever had any forms of communication is when you decided to message me on different platforms as well. So pretty much now you're happy because you have your toxic, manipulative, narcissistic person back in your life. And I understand you have a child with this person. But if this person was so bad that you were making sure I was aware of that, and you were threatening this person how to not come around and you're going to call the cops and blah, 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 how is that person changed? Because the person hasn't changed. That person is still messaging me. But it is what it is. And I know that, to each its own. If you want someone in your life and you've acknowledged it, and it's going to take time for us to acknowledge things that are wrong when we are in situations, and it's okay. It's okay. We all go through trial and tribulations, and it's how we come out of it that makes us stronger, and we know that. We know that. And if you can sit back and talk about it and smile, like, you're a winner. I mean, till this day, I always say, like, jealousy gets you nowhere. Jealousy is evil. Jealousy is hate. If you can be jealous of someone that you do not know, and I'm not talking about celebrities, I'm not talking about social influencers and all this crap out there with social media that you have these reality stars that are putting, that's a whole other video itself too. I'm just talking in general, like when we give people the opportunity that are beyond toxic in our lives and we know it. Don't blame yourself, talk to someone, talk to yourself. I mean, talking to yourself helps. Like, look in that mirror and tell yourself that you're stronger than that. And if you deeply, have noticed that you're not this person and this is not stuff that you would accept, make that move. Take that step and say, you know what? I can be without you. If they're not contributing to your life in any positive way, get rid of them. And that's even to friendships. Like, I've cut 10, 15-year friendships off because I realized that people were in my lives because it was a convenience. I was a convenience. If you have friends around you that only come around when they have relationship issues, they don't belong in your life. If you've got people in your life that only come around when they're alone, get rid of them. Sometimes it's better to be alone and single and living life than to be using that time to enjoy it with toxic BS. Because at the end of the day, when you go to sleep, I guarantee you that you're not going to sleep thinking, oh, I had a great day with so-and-so. Because if they were a-holes and they were toxic and they were using you, or they were convenience factors to your life, using you as a convenience factor, let me correct that, then you're not sleeping right. You're not going to sleep easy. Guess what? I go to bed sleep easy every day. Because I know if someone is going to judge me if someone is going to talk about me, if someone is going to say any negative crap about me, then you don't know me, and all you're doing is making me stronger. All you're doing is making me more important, because why stress someone that has no clue about you? And the only thing that I've ever had in the relation, that toxic interactions that I had to deal with, was I was told up front by the individual that I was interacting with about, hey, just FYI, I have a psycho ex baby mama. Well, I don't deal with psycho ex baby mamas. But if a mother can take or go to that extent and threaten the father of a child that they have, or threaten the father of a child that they have with, they go through the extent of literally demolishing that person's everything that they stand for. Literally, you break them down on a daily basis. Your day is to wake up and make sure social media knows about your toxic baby daddy. Your day is about talking about me. Your day is revolved around me. That means something. That's sad. Like, your responsibility should be focusing on your child. And if the father of your child is that toxic, then maybe you need to not entertain him. Maybe you need to not allow him to walk in and out of the kid's life because you want a man in the picture. It's not because you want your child to have the baby's father around. You want the man in your life to satisfy you, not to be there for the baby. You want your man in your life. You want a man in your life. There are plenty of men out there that are good, that have chivalry, that know how to treat a woman. There are plenty of men out there that have a child with a woman, but are still able to continue to date and have relationships and have a cordial co-parenting relationships with their baby mother. But when it becomes to a point where you're dealing with toxic, untoxic, honestly, it's going to affect your life. Trust me, I know, because I've been through it. And no one knew how much it affected me emotionally and mentally, because it's easy to hide things. And I knew that my number one priority was myself, my family, and my responsibilities. Because at the end of the day, when this person walks out, when they choose to walk out and go right back to all their toxic BS that they came from, that is still in their life, guess what? It's just me at the end of the day. So I was still strong enough to continue with my daily responsibilities. But I did come to that point where I said, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And I cut it off. Just like I cut off several other relationships in my life. I cut you off. You know, loyalty is huge. And if someone can't show you consistency, they can't show you loyalty, they can't show you that you genuinely belong in their life, then get rid of them. And, you know, don't let it linger. If you acknowledge it right away and you see it, take action. Because the more you stay in it, the longer you stay in it, and excuse my grammar because I'm just like talking, you know, I'm not going to edit this video at all, so it is what it is. The longer you say, oh, it's going to change, it's going to change, it's going to change, you find yourself losing more time in your life. And then you look back and it's like years spent with an individual that never, ever did anything to impact your life in any way that was positive. All they did was cause you heartache, headache, bills, BS that you never asked for, stress, in every way, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So if you acknowledge it and you know it, that there is someone in your life that, is just not good for you in general in every aspect of your health and your life, and you have responsibilities, and if you're able to acknowledge it, remove it, you're strong enough and you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. I personally never in my life thought that I could be in a situation like that because of my willpower and because that I am the one to always take care of people. And that's probably why that I stuck in it, because I saw someone that needed help. But I didn't realize that person was more than needing help. He was using me at his convenience. He was brainwashing me because he could. And I started discovering and seeing all the lies. And the more and more that I saw the lies, this person would tell you straight up. And a narcissist will tell you, oh, you're not going to leave. Oh, you're not going to ever be away from me. Oh, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I would never let you walk out of my life, and so forth. They will tell you everything you want to hear. And friends will do the same. In any type of relationship, a narcissistic, toxic, a-hole, SOB will tell you what you want to hear. But you have to be strong enough to say, no, I deserve better. I know my worth. Anyways, I hope this gets through someone. And if you are going through anything or have been through situations like this, shoot me a comment. Let me know. I would love to respond and have a chat with individuals that have been in toxic relationships and exes, and being in relationships with dealing with someone's ex, and baby mama that threatens their, the father of their child, that if they don't come around, and if you have to go through that extent, your child should not be around that person. It should not. It should not. It doesn't matter. There are single mothers out there that are raising their kids perfectly fine because of the simple fact that they don't want that toxic BS in their kid's life. And then there's women that just need a man, so they don't care. And they'll use their kid as an excuse. They'll use their kid as an excuse to satisfy their well-being, their personal well-being, and their heart at their kid's expense. And those are the worst. And I'm not knocking anyone. I'm just speaking from my experience and this is my opinion. But if you are in a situation or you have been through situations like that, please comment, like, and I would love to chat back with you. Peace and love, and I hope that I'm not the only one, because I know I'm not the only one, but I do hope to hear from you. Lotus Eyes Gypsies signing off. Peace and love. God bless.